thought I would record this. I thought this is interesting. This man is very big speaker on Christianity, and I think he's pretty good. I mean, obviously he's a Christian, so you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know him personally. I asked for an interview, but he didn't really. Was not didn't show any interest, which I thought that would happen. I mean, that's fine. But that's not really the point. The point was that I thought it was very interesting. The definition of God essence is simply the infinite. All infinites are the same when you actually reach infinity. I think it's just kind of mumbo jumbo, this part. So infinite goodness is infinite glory, is infinite power. That's obviously kind of nice. But to me, it kind of felt like he was just writing this down. And good to him that he's interested in this stuff. To me, it felt like he was kind of writing it down. Not really knowing so much about the experiences of it. Obviously, he probably has some, but he's very young. I don't think he's had that much experience with it. So I felt like writing down. That's a mental speculation. When there is fully good, I actually meant God, but kind of funny. I wrote down good. Like in very deep meditation or in a conscious sleep, you don't think about infinity. Everything is gone. That's definitely true. And I don't think many people have experienced it. It's not really such a big deal, because as I'll elaborate later, because it's not even the nicer states, I would say, or in my experience, they are not so much like a full mind blown, but you don't think about infinity, everything is gone. But the funny thing is, it is so ineffable. It is pure mind blown. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. It's like, basically everything is gone. I mean, you can't describe it. You can't explain it to someone who's never experienced it. And I can even hardly remember it very well. Just can't remember it to some degree. It is what it is. So. It is too amazing to even really enjoy. Now, this might scare some people because, oh no, is it gonna be not enjoyable? Is it gonna be enjoyable? No, it's that when you fully experience God in some way, then you can't even talk about it at that point. At that point, it's just like deep sleep, sort of like deep sleep, but like more conscious. Everything is just gone. You will not even experience this in the world, so you don't have to try to find this in the world. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. You need to experience it in like a similar state like sleep. Otherwise, not gonna experience it. It's just pure awesome. Yeah. More enjoyable states are like deep peace within. So, in my experience, like when I lay down or meditate, and you can have like deep peace, and that state is actually more pleasurable. It's like more enjoyable usually. You need to be kind of great. You need to have your kind of life in order also to experience it. It's kind of hard sometimes. So these days I'm having a bit of a hard time with it. But not to make it about me, I still can experience it. So not even that hard to experience. No, it's not that hard to experience. You just, as I say, you just need to make a habit out of prayer and meditation and close yourself off from the outside world. And everyone can do this at night. You don't have to go to a monastery to do this. Become a Buddhist monk. You can do this at night. So, not saying it was unenjoyable, because here I say it was not even really. You can really enjoy that. This is about when it's like full God. It's pretty weird. it's not weird. It's beyond. Well, I'll elaborate. Not saying it was unenjoyable, but it kind of was. So this I elaborated on because I didn't like how I phrased this. But again, you can't really talk about that state. At that point, meditation is so deep that experience stops altogether. Because it's not in the world. You don't experience yourself in the world or as the world. It's not like a dream either, where you experience a dream world. You can't really talk properly about these states even. But you'll never experience it through contemplation. Yeah. So even if you can experience insight, and this is my opinion. I'm not going to say this is an absolute fact, but it's my opinion. You can never reach it through contemplation, meaning maybe it can happen like that, but in my experience, it's not really possible. Because if you can, contemplation is fun. It's useful. It has practical properties. It has like prayer, right, or like dreams. Contemplation is when you try to contemplate about things. It's absolutely universal. I mean, this is the mode of how intellect works, right? You contemplating things. That's just fun or exercise. Yeah. So that's how I would personally put it, because what I said is you can find these deeper states in meditation or prayer. You don't find it through contemplation, although contemplation can be good, can help maybe, but you won't find it that way. And then I wrote this. I think, though, again, you don't really need to go that deep to enjoy any good states. So you don't really need to go that deep to enjoy good states. You can, meditation or prayer, like the inward kind, can be just enjoyable even when it's not that deep, when it's like everything's gone. The joy or kind of blissful feelings, they can come even before that stage. It's not even a linear stage to there. If it goes that deep that everything is absorbed or just disappeared, basically, not so much absorbed, but just gone, then that is a state in and of itself, and then you know what that is. So that's really cool. But you don't actually know anything about it. It's, as I said, it's pure mind blowing. You can't talk about it. So yeah, I would say that sort of the, whatever. But so you don't really need to, but it is cool to discover. God wants everyone to be as peaceful or happy as possible. I would agree with that. Or is the peace, you can't really definitely state reality anyway. So by this I mean you can't really, I can say God is peace, but that is a word, you know. You need to experience it yourself by living at least some kind of inward path, or if you're really good, an outward path when you live like Jesus, you know, in a way. Or at least you don't sin. And you just live a good life. It can be a simple life. You don't have to heal people or be... If you just do basic things like being honest, not lying, that's already very good. If you don't sin, then you're already a good person. Because honestly, going within like that, well, actually it has to do with how pure, how much you are not sin. Because if you go within and you have sinned, you're gonna have to face that first. So you can't really... You can try, but you're not gonna be very good at meditation. You're not gonna enjoy meditation or prayer. It's not going to be that enjoyable. But happy to see you on a Christian on this path. Oh yeah, I think he's an interesting, cool guy. So I'm not saying it was unenjoyable, it was, yeah. So again, I don't really mean, it's not that fully God. Again, you can experience being fully God in the world. You can experience having the Holy Spirit and maybe somewhat like that. But what I'm talking about here is so deep that it has nothing to do with the world. So there are, in a way, two dimensions, you can say. There's the dimension and and the inward dimension, which is also like a spectrum to it, and that spectrum should be as enjoyable as possible, and that comes through grace. And then you can maybe fully go see God in some way, but your mind is blown, and it's just when you experience that, and then you come out of it. But even just hanging in the prior state to that state can be very enjoyable. I can't explain why that is very enjoyable. It has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with your thinking. Because you're experiencing the peace of God itself, or you're experiencing a flavor of God. So that's gonna be enjoyable. It has nothing. That's maybe a good thing to emphasize. I feel like emphasizing again. It's nothing to do with what you think about it, because thoughts are like a noise in the mind, something in your head. Thoughts are very small. If you look at reality and you have a thought about reality, that thought is very small. Reality itself is much bigger. Reality itself is much bigger, especially space itself, like emptiness. There's nothing wrong with that, Emptiness is, space is. But that's not something you can really enjoy so much per se when you're living in a world, because when you're living in a world, there are gonna be thoughts, and especially in this world, there's so much going on. There's a lot of busyness in the world. So, yeah. So you have to experience that in meditation, because in meditation, I can't explain why, you just have to see it for yourself. So, yeah, I meant to say it was enjoyable, but it's the word means nothing like that. And when you cross, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but it just has nothing to do with emotion, even the meditation has nothing to do with emotions. Emotions, you can call the peace you could call love itself, because it doesn't judge. But again, that's something you have to experience. You can't talk your way there. Basically, pure awe would be the best way to describe it. Yeah, I had another comment, but I'll just end it here. That's good enough, I think, for one video. Thank you for listening.